my friend Nilesh to get in here. There he is. Just on time. Yeah, I just shaved before coming into work, actually. Michael Ray, welcome. Johnny, you creeper. Yeah, Nilesh, if you're out there, go ahead and send me an invite. We're going to be doing an after show of Nilesh's presentation involving pornography. Is it harmful or beneficial? Not right now, Johnny. I need Nilesh on video right now. Maybe later. Hold on. If you're still here. Oh, I hear something. It's still adding, it's still adding, it's still adding. James.
Hi, Brian.
There he is, the man of the hour.
How's it going?
It's going well. Audio sounds good. Can you hear okay?
Yep. I can hear okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're coming in beautifully.
Great. Yeah.
So there's going to be a little loud noise, so bear with me.
Oh, no. Sure.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do you think you've squashed Vin?
You know, that's not something that I'd go for, like squashing win or something. I
know
obviously think that it's social arguments are not great. I definitely Am I coming through?
Yeah, you're coming in through now. There was a little bit of interruption. I think you may have been getting some alerts.
Right. No, I definitely think that his social arguments are not great at all, right? I personally feel that, he comes from a biblical standpoint, which is very understandable. You know, he's a Christian, and like I've said, there are acts in the Bible which are prohibited, sexual acts which are prohibited, virtually all of them, represented in a pornographic presentation, all right? And so from that standpoint, I can understand it. But where I think he kind of misses the train is essentially the fact that he doesn't, what he does is he tries to include a lot of sociology in it, and the research I don't think supports him very much. That's my claim. Yeah.
Right, and basically correlation does not necessarily equal causation. There was a debate between a atheist philosopher and a Christian apologist, and the case she was making is Christianity more beneficial to society? Are people happier? So all of the studies that she cited literally got ripped apart. I'm going to have to send you this debate because it is well worth watching. I mean, this guy knew this woman's script better than she did. He had all of her citations, all of her meta studies that she usually uses, and he tore through every single one of them. It's like you cannot just infer causation because you have correlation.
Oh no, dude! Like, I mean, I like totally discussed that in the video. Like, I mean, Vin's from Maine, right? So let's take Maine. There is a direct correlation, all right, between the per capita consumption of margarine and divorce rates in Maine, right? When one goes up, the other goes up. When one goes down, the other goes down. Right? Essentially, that's not because those two things are related in any way, right? Just happens somewhere. Like I said, if A and B occur together four things can happen. A causes B, B causes A. Another third unknown cause, C, causes both A and B, and four, there's no relation at all between
Exactly.
those two.
Go ahead, continue. I just had to step off camera.
Yeah. So that was my entire thing with Vin's argument when he brings in, like, this whole pornography is bad. Actually, if you look at the research that's been done, all right, not only is it not detrimental, not only has there been no correlation found between sex crimes and pornography and like that. Now, the thing is, child pornography is something that nobody really likes, right? So we'll
Correct.
carve out that exception. That's not constitutionally protected as well. So I'll give that to Vin if he wants to take that point and run with it. He can do that, as in wave that point, say, yeah, that's the, I was going for that. No, but as in general pornography, there's nothing about the social moral attitudes, etc. There's a study been done. In fact, there's a study done by this guy, all right, Neil Mamalu, who is an active anti-pornography academic, all right? He campaigns against pornography, all right? He did a study, all right, with another gentleman among Danes, I think about close to 700 Danes, 688, 316 and men and 372 women it was. And he found that, they viewed pornography as sort of providing them with benefits, right? And these benefits were essentially, the attitudes towards sex, the perception of attitudes towards members of the opposite sex, and all of that. And here's the thing: the more you viewed pornography, all right, the more you viewed hardcore pornography, the more these benefits were, right? There was a direct positive correlation. Now, I'm not saying that we've already discussed causation correlation, all right, but there's a strong correlation there. There's a strong correlation there, which is statistically significant, and it's been measured and it's been published. And these are published in peer-reviewed journals, like peer-reviewed social science journals. So very reputed ones. So there's that. I can understand his rape argument because, there was a rape incident in the pornographic film industry. But untoward things happen anyway. You cross the road, you could get hit by a bus and die, right? And the thing was, that was with regard to one specific performer, this guy called James Dean, who's a habitual offender, actually, right? So that was a specific localized issue, right? And there was that happening there.
I was thinking of James Dean, the
and
actor.
Oh, he's an actor, all right, but
Okay.
he's not James Dean. He's James Dean. Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's a performing artist. So, yeah. So, yeah, no. There's essentially that. And yeah, there, sadly, some people like it since there's a market for it. Of course, there's a market for it, dude. It's proven to be not just non-harmful, all right? I won't say proven to be, but, it's, there is research there that indicates that it is not just non-harmful, but actually beneficial, right? Not just non-harmful, then actually beneficial. So why is it sad that some people like it since there's a market for it? There's
From
I think it was
the Christian perspective, because you've already been told that it's wrong, it's a sad thing.
Yeah.
Just like we
that perspective about. I totally understand. I totally understand that perspective. If that is the perspective, then all I will say is, we're not coming from the same perspective. We're not viewing it from the same lens, all right? Because you believe the Bible, and I do not, right? And more power to you. You're doing what you believe. As Steve said to Tony in Civil War, you're doing what you feel is right, and that's all that can be expected of any of you. Yeah, no, that's there. That is essentially that, and that's what I have to say on it. What do you think, Brian?
Well, I mean, I have to say, I mean, based on the studies that there was a questionnaire attached to that one study you posted, and it
Right.
was about how much do you think you've learned? How much do you
Right.
think, how much knowledge have you gained by viewing hardcore pornography? You know, and you'd be surprised how much you learn. If you're, okay, so if you have a toxic mindset, there is nothing that's going to be beneficial for you. You're going to gravitate towards
Right.
the most uh, lowest common denominator. I mean, you're going to be going to basically bottom feeding, and those kinds of people who have addictive personalities, that have toxic mentalities. Yeah, I mean, I would suggest they don't watch porn at all. I would
Yeah. No.
suggest,
No. No.
yeah, I
True.
would suggest certain people that have certain proclivities to not engage in certain activities. You know, it's the same thing with alcoholics. If you have trouble controlling alcohol, do not drink it. If you have trouble controlling illicit substance, do not partake.
Right, right, right. But and that is where that's where I'm appreciative of what you're saying and all of that, because there are nuances in what we're saying. We're not making these sweeping generalizations. All right, we've given Vin his due. If it's the Christian viewpoint that he's coming from, that's great, right? If Vin and Sori, both of them are coming from a Christian viewpoint, that's great. I just don't believe that viewpoint, so it's difficult for me to appreciate where you're coming from. I can appreciate where you're coming from. I can understand it. I just cannot, accept that. I don't believe it, right? So there's that. But when you start to do social science, it's very easy to, commit fallacies and make sleights of hand and sort of play to a popular, or play to the gallery and be populist and all of that. But you've got to look at the nuances. We've carved out child pornography. We've accepted that there are certain people who should not be watching pornography and all of that. We've accepted that there may be a small rape problem in the pornographic industry, and it may have some effects and everything. But like, I mean, this general, pornography bad. We are against pornography. No, 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 no.
Well, and I
These
keep
sweeping things.
right. I keep asking this question: what do you do about cases of people that enjoy doing what they're doing? I just watched a demonstration in London where strippers are trying to save the industry by forming unions, by trying to make it safer, and they want to be in the stripping business. So what
Right.
what do you say to people that want to do that? No, you can't. It's bad for you. I mean,
My guess is, if you're a Christian, you would probably fall back on the moral argument, not just acts of the flesh, but you shouldn't sort of like engage in that because you're tempting someone, right?
right.
um
Yeah.
and we're all sinners apparently in the Christian worldview. We're all sinners, so it's difficult to expect that someone would not be tempted, right? And so I'd probably approach it from that point. That is the workaround that I would get to it if I were a Christian, right? And that's understandable. You can't look at it from a sociological viewpoint and like I mean, I can understand. Look, if you're a YouTuber, remain a YouTuber. Don't do what social scientists do. Or if you do what social scientists do, make sure that you're a credible social scientist before you do that, or at least you have an understanding of the methodology, right? So passion is great. Giddy optimism is great. But high hopes won't help if there is no sort of solid logical foundation for the statements that you're putting out, right?
Yeah. So
That's essentially what.
yeah. So I think we've covered some pretty good ground. I'm hoping that Vin must be away from the groups because I haven't really seen him active. He could be doing some projects, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be happy to tag him,
Oh
but
yeah, 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 yeah.
I Let me see if I can
But
find him.
yeah, no, Brian, it's been good being on the show with you. Apparently, we've been collaborating a lot off late. I think we should probably make a habit of it. So, because I
Hey,
love, yeah,
I
talking to
do
you
not
and
mind
discussing
because
this.
I tell you, the more you research, the more you know, and we need to advocate for our own understanding. And I want to believe as many true things as possible and as less untrue things as possible. So the more
Right,
you know. So, all
right.
right,
All right, Brian, take care and
T-
see you next time.
all
Bye.
right. Take care, Nilesh.